one has been able to explain this to us. And if you start asking questions about it, that just deride it as some kind of conspiracy nut or some kind of idiot, who's denying science.
Oh yeah, they're telling me in my ear right now that I'm an idiot, and that it's the entire atmosphere you see that's also spinning at 1,080 miles per hour. So you're not really flying at 550. You're actually flying and then somehow being whisked along with this spinning atmosphere. This object, this aircraft, is then being apparently grabbed by the atmosphere, and then, so you're actually going 1,580 miles per hour. It's really, that's pretty advanced.
Science in general, you're supposed to be able to open up to question. And we haven't been allowed to for 500 years, 600 years? What is at play here?
I was always told that wind is created by the uneven heating of the Earth's surface. That's what creates wind. Wouldn't it, it would be a pretty windy day, I would think, if we were traveling at 68,000 miles per hour and spinning at 1,080. I would believe, how does the water stick? How do we have calm days on the lake?
Shouldn't the water be all about to just run out of the side of the lake? When you start looking into it, we shouldn't be sitting still, I guess, at any time at all. No one has ever been able to satisfactorily explain to me how you could theoretically go from the North Pole on around Earth, from the North Pole to the South Pole, and not be hanging off of it. You go up into airplanes. There's flat as far as I can see. Wouldn't you imagine that there was some kind of curvature that you would see after a certain period of time? Well, I'm told that the curvature
changes every 55 meters. That's what we're told to believe, every 55 meters. So that brings another question is, aside from the fact that when you're on an airplane and you take off, you feel that, right? When you're on a roller coaster and you drop, if you change altitude in an elevator, a slow-moving elevator, you feel it in your stomach. It's hard to explain, but everybody knows what I'm talking about, what that feeling is. When you descend in an airplane and you start your initial descent, even an altitude shift of just a couple hundred feet, you feel that drop, right? So if the Earth is curving every 55 meters, and I'm traveling, let's just say again, from Minneapolis to Florida, 1,300 and some odd miles, that's a long flight. That's a long distance to cover. But I don't have to adjust, the plane doesn't have to adjust its altitude to stay at its cruising altitude of 32,000 feet, for example. The pilot, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be cruising at 32,000 feet. All this, I think they all go to voice school as well because they all sound the same. But then I don't have to continuously descend to stay at that 32,000 feet. If it's this ball and I'm flying here, wouldn't I just... my altitude would just continue to get greater, wouldn't it? My distance between the Earth and the aircraft would continue to increase, I would think. They're telling me again, no, that I'm an idiot, because the whole thing is, the plane is inside of the snow globe as well. So it's ridiculous. Here's what I do know. NASA is full of everything that we've ever been told by these people is a lie. I'm not committing to saying, hey, I think it's flat, because I don't know. I just want to ask the question, and you're right. I can say anything on the internet, but as soon as I take to X and I say, hey, if it changes every 55 meters, then why can I see that boat out there through this, binocular or monocular? Why can I see that at all of these miles away? Why, when I'm in the aircraft, does it look pretty flat? Why isn't it wavy and windy constantly? If you ask any of this, or even just say, looks pretty flat to me, people just come unglued. They can't fathom that from this young age, when you walk into the classroom, the first thing that every teacher has on their desk is this globe. And you're not allowed to question that, because if they grab control of you like that at that age, they own you for the rest of your life.
Truly, it is anti-science that we're not allowed to ask questions about this. And when I think about this kind of stuff, it takes me back to this saying you used to hear out of guys back in 70s movies. Free your mind and your ass follow. Everything is groomed for us to just accept it as little drones and go straight forward, and we can't have it.
Everything that we've ever seen, our entire world, is built on propaganda and fake images and computer-generated images and lies.